What's up, witches? Welcome to 2022. This is the first unboxing video of the new year, and it's the first blue sky day we have had here in Northeast Ohio since before Christmas. And I mean, it's been dark gray, and I love those kind of days, but not that many of them in a row. So it was a day to clean up the desk and the altar here and make it a clean sweep and start the unboxings off right with Monday Tarot on a Tuesday. I do my best. I would like to start actually today with, oh, please light, with a little smoke cleanse to offer this to you. Let me get my charcoal lit. But just to offer you right off the rip, to set the tone for 2022, let's start off with good healing vibes. So I offer you this smoke cleanse, and I hope that you go to your altar and light up whatever your smoke cleansing incense is, whether it's sage, cedar, juniper, palo santo, sandalwood, balsam fir, whatever is your pleasure there, folks. All right, so I offer that to you, and let's do a happy 2020. May all the elements be balanced for you. Now let's get to the unboxing. Today we're looking at a unique deck. I was going to say really unique, but unique is an absolute. So, and that bugs me. So here is a unique deck called the Transparent Tarot. This is the second edition. I saw this first like 10 years or more ago, and I thought it was fascinating, and then I think it disappeared for a while, and all of a sudden it popped up again. So I'm very delighted to add this to my collection and to have a nice white cloth to unbox this on, and you will see why. Well, you can imagine why if it's the Transparent Tarot, right? Starry. Still fucking around here to get things right. Okay, so second edition Transparent Tarot by Emily Carding. This deck is a loving, helpful friend. It feels alive and reactive in a way no other deck has seemed to me, and the sheer brilliance of layering the meanings provides an accuracy, depth of insight, and clarity I would not have believed. And that is from Perry Lyons' Celebrity Psychic. That's kind of chewy. So there's that part of it. The Transparent Tarot is a fascinating exploration of the way the cards can blend together, constantly creating new meaning. Every combination produces fresh images and new mysteries. Rachel Pollack, author, 78 Degrees of Wisdom. That's a nice endorsement. Explore the transparency of your life in this second edition of the Transparent Tarot, the celebrated and award-winning tarot divination system. A must-have for both readers and collectors, this highly innovative deck consists of simple yet striking images displayed on clear plastic, which are designed to be read in layers. With a new chapter detailing how to use this deck in combination with other decks, tarot or oracle, enhance your interpretations to unlock intuition and help discover hidden depths as you read. The book offers new keyword charts with quick definitions to assist with reading right out of the box, as well as in-depth meanings for clearer associations. Find original spreads and suggestions for methods that have never before been possible. This deck offers a fun, original, and insightful tool for divination, meditation, brainstorming, magic, and more for beginners and advanced readers alike. This was over $50. It says $60 here, $59.99. I paid less than that, but it's still a pricey deck. And then you see the box here has this window in it that has several cards layered, or has a, no, okay, it doesn't have several cards layered. Oh, it has a card that is depicted on the front of the book, and then it has this transparent layover to show how they layer. What do you know? All right, so let's get this out of there. And whoa, baby, that's a hefty book. I was expecting, to pull out this nice light book. That is beefy. This is over 300 pages in this book. Let's go to the back here. Emily Carding is a professional artist, writer, actor, writer and artist living by the sea in beautiful East Sussex. She's a solo parent to a teenage goth spring who was once an adorable fairy child and possibly still is somewhere under all the hoodies and grunting. Other works for Schiffer include the Transparent Oracle, the Tarot. Oh, there's a Transparent Oracle too. Tarot of the Sidhe, Sidhe, that's Celtic, and the Simple Wisdom of the Household Dog with Albus Dumbledore. She's also written Fairycraft, published by Llewellyn, a number of essays and esoteric anthologies on a variety of subjects from Avalonia Books. As an artist, she has illustrated Gods of the Vikings for Avalonia Books, a number of book covers for the same publisher, and the Major's Only deck, Tarot of the Black Mountain. Boy, a lot of stuff I'm going to be looking up here. As an actor, she's best known for her international tour of the award-winning Richard III, a one-woman show by Bright Theatre. Holy shit. Makes a brief appearance in the British horror movie Ghost Stories, where she plays the ghost of Martin Freeman's wife. She managed not to call him Bilbo once while filming. That's hilarious. Emily holds a BA in Theater Arts Honors, so she really wants us to know who she is. Guess in Leo. In Theater Arts from Bretton Hall and an MFA in Staging Shakespeare from the University of Exeter. She's an initiate of the Alexandrian Wiccan tradition and has been working with the Tarot for over 25 years. Connect with Emily on Twitter at Emily Carding. All right. Pardon me. This just says the same thing as it says in the back of the box. Hang on. When you choke on your own spit, that's fun. Okay. So you end up with a big hole. And then we have, oh look, a white cloth. I was trying to figure out how to unbox this deck. I've been trying to figure this out for a while because I didn't really have enough room, to put another cloth. And then let's pull the deck out here. No, okay, not really easily done. You can't really just grab it, but we've got a divided container. Sturdy magnet closure box. And we've got a band on the cards here. Bye-bye. Which way is up? So obviously we can't look at the holy shit. We can't look at card backs. Okay, I'm assuming this is going to be fascinating, you guys. So it does come with this lovely piece of satin. And I don't need to use it because I have this lovely piece of satin, which is still a little bit wrinkled, sorry. And I had to put it matte side up because the camera has trouble with that. It's really weird. It's so bright today, but my desktop looks really kind of dark. I see that my charcoal spat some stuff. All right, let me zoom you in. And I have my lights turned up all the way. All right, we'll move it over there because I'm going to need to I need to keep the book handy. But observations right off the bat without going to the book. We have 0 here. Do you see we've got these spaces for numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Golly, it looks like both of those can take up the major arcana. So the 0 card is certainly the Fool. Already getting shit on my white cloth. Anyhow. So let's just go first impressions here. We have a beautiful butterfly and a blue rose down here, so, and we can see what the number of the card is. And then if we go along to Magician, I mean, one is tempted to start layering already. And you notice that we've got 0 and then 1. So when they're layered, the numbers aren't going to be on top of each other, and you can see by the numbers which cards you have if the images are dense. So the Magician card, we have 2 dragons. it's very interesting to look at these. I mean, clearly that one is, I mean, it'd be very easy to get the cards flipped around, although there's a curvature to them. Do you see that? So maybe it wouldn't be so easy. This is fascinating. So we have the two dragons intertwined for the Magician card. We have 0 references to traditional images here. So that right away is interesting and possibly, you know, I mean, it makes it easy to just go in and take it on its own merits, but not so easy if you are, you know, really looking at it as tarot. Okay. I don't know if that made any sense. Sorry. There's the Magician. Here is the High Priestess. And so we have the crescent moon, and we have, in the pages of a secret book lies the key to your inner look. Thus insight is a true gaze, the wisest light to guide your days. Lovely. The Empress. So we have a very Bristol looking hill. I have, gosh, you guys, I've got my light up all the frickin' way. Does that even help? Kinda. Let's try that. All right. So there's a hill, you know, definitely you can get a hint of a feminine form. We see, I guess, some clouds up there, the number 3, flowers and grass. And then are you looking at how they're layering here on the other side? Here is the Emperor, and we have a cityscape. So right away, I mean, just with that simple cityscape, you get the idea of structure, of longevity, of money and power. Then number 5, the Hierophant, and we just have a tree here. Little, you know, spirals, I guess, you know, tree image. You could look at what's growing. I've got Lenormand shoving itself into my mind. But it's a big tree, so we just look at something that's been in place for a while, so maybe traditions, which is one of the meanings of the Hierophant. All right, continuing on. The Lover's card. We have a heart and a yin-yang. It's a beautiful image. Obviously about love, obviously about two wholes making a third thing, the completion of each other, the you know, each thing containing its other. We've got the Chariot, so we just have the 2 horses there. Justice is number 8 in this deck. The upraised sword and the scale, that's the essence of the Justice card for sure. Then we've got the Hermit. So the mountaintop, which gives the idea of solitude. Look at the mountaintop of the clouds down here. So you get the idea of being far above the norm. And then we've got the light shining out from the top. So she really is capturing the essence of things. And for the Wheel of Fortune, we have a Native American medicine wheel. You know, I'm not too keen on that, but it's certainly a representation of parts containing a whole and something that turns, and, you know, something where all parts are equal in the circle. Then we have, now we've jumped down to the bottom with the numbers. 11, here's the Strength card. Again, the essence, the hand coming out, gentling the predator. 12 is the Hanged Man, but we've got a chrysalis there. So this is, yeah, the Hanged Man. And then we have the Death card, which is a scythe cutting down the wheat. That's really cool. That's a really cool death card because it talks about death as part of a cycle. Harvest is part of a cycle, and then there are the seeds for the next year. So it really does bring death into that kind of cyclical meaning. Now we've got Temperance. Fire and water with a rainbow connecting. The Devil. Yep. The Tower. Boom. Star. Moon. Sun. I gotta see this. You know I do. Look at the... Okay, so the moon has the physical eyes closed, third eye open. Excellent. Sun has both eyes open, and we layer them together. Look at that. Yeah, they tickle me. That tickle me. Here's Judgment, the phoenix rising from the ashes, and then we have the world. Just a rainbow spiral. Interesting so far. All right, let's go off with wands. Now we have numbers going down the sides. So this says A, obviously an ace, and we've got a wand on the side. So if you can't tell from the massive wand here, then we've got ace of wands here. I like that she gives us that second way to identify. Ace of wands, get it started, man. Fire yourself up. That's very adequately depicted. And now we have the two of wands. And we've got two people facing each other. So this is very different from the traditional, which kind of talks about looking out on your domain, you know, assessing, surveying sort of thing. This is two people. Are they fighting each other? Are they comparing? What are they doing? I don't know. And then we've got three that are putting torches together to make a greater light. So that certainly talks about collaboration. Then we have the Four of Wands. So these people are certainly working together now. I'm so curious about how they go together. All right, there's the 4. There's the 5. Only one person with the 5 of Wands, but they've got too much on their hands. So that changes the meaning there. The 6, the Victory card. Okay, I can see that. Stand your ground, certainly. The 8, yep. Certainly the idea of boundaries and vigilance. And then we have the 10. I'm interested that when we get to the suits, the images are very much in, you know, not in the middle. And so to do this and to layer things the way she's doing, you definitely have to use this whole space in pieces, or it's just going to end up a mess. So now I'm really more intrigued. 10 certainly looks like overwhelm, too much going on. There's the Page. There's the Knight. There's the Queen. There's the King. Okay. So Page and Knight and Queen and King. Nothing in those cards that gives you an idea of what, you know, the meaning would be. Now we have the Ace of Cups. So we have the wand down here, the cup is up here. The 2. Certainly reaching out to each other and connecting, as opposed to that 2 of Wands where they were kind of, you know, not connecting. They're facing each other, but maybe facing off. There's the 3 of Cups, toasting, celebrating. Interesting, too, to see how the images kind of fade away. She does this pointillist. If I'm looking at the style of the art, it's pointillism. And then they just kind of come down here to make a soft, shady thing. There's the 4 of Cups. You get the idea here of like drinking alone. Pity party. And there's the 5 of Cups. The alone drinking ain't getting me anywhere. There's the 6 of childhood memories. And the 7. You don't really see, we've got 7 different kinds of cups and glasses here because the image is too small to try to put, you know, something different in each cup. Like usually there's a dragon and some money and a rainbow and, you know, different things. But too small, so we just changed the style of the cups. Good solution. Here's the 8. Oh, look at that. Okay, so instead of like walking away, usually you see the 8 of cups and like standing up and one of them's knocked over and somebody's just walking away. I'm done with this drama. But this person has these overturned cups. So old processes, old events, old emotions, things that are done and spent, but there's a new cup that's calling them forward. So instead of walking away from it, says, I'm going to use these old emotional experiences to move up. Fascinating. The 9. There's the wish card. And the 10. Ta-da! They're hugging each other and toasting. All right, there's the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. It seems like the courts are very similar to each other. Then we have the Ace of Swords. So we had wands and swords, and we're going to have pentacles and cups. Clearly air. The 2, sticking absolutely to the traditional with the blindfold. The 3, ooh. So 3 usually just shows a heart pierced by 3 swords. This person is doing the piercing to themselves. Wow. With 2 others coming from the back. That's a fascinating nuance. Then we've got the 4. The 5, abuse of power, but we have broken swords here. 6, the boat. 7, the thief, obviously. 8, we can't see a blindfold. Yeah, even if I like hold it up to the light, I guess there is a blindfold, but boy, is it difficult to see. I think it's the person is done in blue and the blindfold's in black. Boy, is that subtle. And then I feel like I should be doing these on a light box. There's the 9. And there's the 10. Ugh. Okay. I sure wish this wasn't so gray looking, and I don't have a way to change it right now. Grumble, 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 Luna. All right. Here's the page. And the knight. And the queen, and the king. Oh no. You flip them over, you see the mirror image. Wacky. All right, here's the Ace of Pentacles, very earthy. The 2, juggling. The 3, there's no hint of collaboration there. Looking at my pentacle. The 4, all right, that certainly alludes to the traditional. There's the 5, ooh, that forlorn feeling. The 6 of charity. The 7, you know, the 7 of harvesting. You get the idea of somebody reaching up to like pick apples off a tree or something. The 8, apprenticeship. We're building something with these, I guess. The 9. And the 10. I don't know if you have, my computer just took off and started howling at me. And if you can hear water in the background, it's because I'm watching. Because it's been so gray, I went from my having a video of a fireplace on all the time to there's one called White Forest, and it's snow scenes and water and absolutely glorious. So here's the 10 of Pentacles, and there's someone seated on a throne, so it certainly looks like success. And I just felt a little bit of a nick in that one. There's the page, there's the knight, there's the queen, and there's the king. All right. Wow, let's look at the book. But before we do, I've been forgetting this lately. I want to zoom you out and give him a bit of a blessing, y'all. Right? Sorry about my clamps. Decided to clamp my fabric down because it was driving me nuts. All right. So I would like to thank my guides and guardians, allies, and ancestors for being here with me each and every day and for hanging with me through all my struggles in the past year. And I offer you fresh water and the fire of Azrael, as I offer the same to this deck. Ooh, they fan nicely. I cannot wait to see what shuffling is going to be like. All right, we're going to give them a little bit of a saltwater blessing too. Okay, so let's look at the book. This is copyright 2020, and it is Red Feather, which is an imprint of Schiffer. It's called Red Feather, Mind, Body, and Spirit. Acknowledgements, forward, preface to the second edition, introduction, and then we have contents. That's interesting. This is not written... Okay, welcome to your guide to the Transparent Tarot. This is written not as a definitive book of instructions, nor as a set of outlines within which you must work, but as a foundation for you to launch into your own exploration of tarot. As such, before you begin this book in earnest, I will strongly suggest one thing. Put it down. Now, pick up the cards and look through them, play with them, whatever you feel drawn to do, except possibly spread them too wide over a patterned carpet, since you'll probably lose a few that way. They are transparent after all. Using a bright white background or the provided white reading cloth, spread out the cards and try forming a few pictures. Without referring to the book, start forming your own impression of the cards, their feeling and meanings. Perhaps you could try using them to form an image that you feel reflects your current personality or situation, or just create images you think are pretty. See, this is one of the things I tell you to do when you're bonding with a deck, is to, look through, pull out cards that you react strongly to, positively and negatively, and then to create a story from your life, illustrate a story from your life using the cards. Whatever you decide to do, the important thing is that you build up your own relationship with the cards early on before you read my own theories and ideas about what they mean and how you could use them. You may wish to keep the cards handy as you read through the book so you can see full color detail of the images. Something I will repeat and emphasize in this book is that this deck of cards is now yours. It is your tool, and so it is for you, not I, to decide how it will be used and what various things may or may not mean. The Transparent Tarot is a tool for unlocking your intuition, and as such, anything I have to say as its designer is simply based on my personal research and understanding of the cards. It is not meant to dictate anything to you. In fact, you may find your own completely unrelated meanings for the images on the cards, and that is great. The information in this book is simply there to support you in your quest for your own understanding, provide you with some fresh angles you might not have thought of before, and I hope give you the confidence and inspiration necessary to find profound benefits from the cards. All right, so we have what is Tarot, the evolution of Tarot, what makes Transparent Tarot special, caring for your cards, and then we go into the card meanings. Then we have how to use them, focusing the question. Oh, and I see that. So she goes through the majors in the regular order, and then she goes by number, the aces, the twos, the threes. That's a really good thing to do. If most books go straight through in sequence, although some go backwards, and I still have never found anyone that's explained why. And then some chunk them like this with the numbers, and that's a really good thing to do, because you will find when you do that all the threes do have a similarity to them, all the fives do have a similarity, so you get kind of a numerological vibe there. Then we have how to use the cards, divination, focusing the question, shuffling the cards, card of the day, thinking outside the box, 3 position spread, the good old Celtic cross, combining with other decks, keyword tables, tarot and the elements, other uses for the cards, meditation and magic, creating sigils, brainstorming, infinite possibilities. Nice. Well, then let's just go back here and look at focusing, or all right. So she's talking here about taking cards and, 3 cards of the day and layering them on top of each other, and then kind of staggering them like this to make, more of a linear story. And then she's got 2 more here to add more to that story. So anyone that reads, depending on how you read, because if you do something like Celtic Cross, then you've got 1 card in each category, and it just stands for what it stands for in that category. Pardon. But especially if you read Lenormand, or if you read in triplets, as I do, then you allow the cards to modify each other, whether that's in sequence, as a part of a sentence, or you look at, a decent card showing up in the middle, or, a really great card like the sun showing up in a group of, surrounded by darker cards, and you might say that, all is not lost, or everything at the center is really good, but things on the surface aren't. There's just a lot of ways to modify. So this deck is just built for that. Fascinating to see what she's done here. I love the staggering kind of method. Let's see what she says about shuffling them. And I did do a little bit of reading when I was deciding to buy the deck. And there, I think it was even in the description or somewhere that I was reading, that the first edition was had a greasy feel to it. Okay, Transparent Tarot. I might have read, oh, here it is. When you're not using your cards, best to keep them stored flat and wrapped in their cloth. You may also wish to keep them in an appropriate tarot bag or box. If you wish to use a cloth other than the reading cloth, silk is often favored, not only for its softness, but as a natural psychic insulator. Using crystals, the nature, blah, 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 would be, I swear that I read something in here about actually caring for them. But I'm not going to find it now, so let's move on. Always shuffle beforehand. Some readers cut the deck into... Okay, if it helps, you can sing a little song or make up a little shuffling chant. I find it helps just to repeat the question over and over, and sometimes as you're repeating the question over and over, you find that it kind of changes, or it condenses, or it clarifies itself. So the first thing I'm going to do, oh boy, do I have a lot of misgivings here, is try to shuffle them, riffle shuffle, traditional way. They do slide against each other easily, so that's a... Oh! I am stunned and delighted. That was easy. Okay, wow. I'm thinking, how's this going to work? They're going to be stiff. They're going to be whatever. They're not. And the fact that they have a kind of a bow to them does not in any way hinder you from folding, bending them this way in order to shuffle. Let's do that again. All right, I'm becoming a fan. Now we just have to see how they read. There's 3. I'm going to do a little bit of cut shuffling, and then we're going to riffle again. They line up nicely. They're cut evenly. So hurrah for that. They do cut shuffle all right. And, there are no surprises in this deck, because if you're holding them, you're going to see exactly what's on top. Even holding them face down doesn't work because they've got 2 faces. All right. So interesting. So interesting shuffling, like blatantly plastic cards. I don't mind plastic coated cards, but these are just absolutely plastic cards. Let's do another riffle. And I want 3 cards. Let's just go for the, the one cards of the day where we pick 3. So I'm going to do the cut and pick. This is what I do on my live streams, so we don't have to spread things out and do. And I used to like spend time kind of hovering over everything and feeling what my hand feels like, and I decided at some point that I'm just turning it over to my guides and I'm just picking. I will make sure that I'm centered and focused, and I'll feel myself pulled a certain way, but it's also just reach, just go for it, and know that you're guided. You have to trust. The more trust you have in the process, the easier it is. So I'm finding it a little bit easier to cut shuffle. There's one. Finding it easier to cut shuffle long ways like this than the other way, which is sometimes the only way you can deal with big, massive decks. This isn't too big. It fits in your hand easily, and it's certainly shuffled well. So, okay. Let's have our card number 2. And of course, what I want to know is, what do we need to do to start off this new year, or whenever you're watching this, to really bring us from surviving into thriving? Let me get my feet on the floor. Okay, I've got 2 splits. This one split first, so I'm taking that one first. If it will come out of the deck, and then this one. All right, let's see them together. So we have a major and 2 minors. Oof. All right, so we've got the 4 of Swords here. And, you see the numbers there, and you see the numbers on the sides and down here are all in yellow. There's no different color of numbers for the suits. But immediately, we can stack them up, and we can see that we have wand or wands and sword and major. So she gives you a way to really identify individual cards when they are in fact stacked, and that's awesome. I'm going to zoom you in again. All right, so we see on the bottom here we've got the 4 of Swords. This person has been laid out flat. Stasis is what I'm hearing there, but stuckness also, or just at rest, things at rest here. The sword's pointing up like that. The fact that he's lying on a sword or it's next to him, it's like, okay, lay down your swords, but then we've got these 3 pointing out, which talks to me about being protective, do not approach, stay away, prickly, okay? I'm withdrawn, I'm resting, I've retreated from the battle, and you aren't coming any closer. Fascinating. Then, boom, 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 boom. We've got the lightning stroke of the Tower right down the middle, and right down the middle of the, look at how it's coming across these swords. So something here to shake us out of this flat line. There's another word I'm getting there, is just flat line. So, here's how I'm feeling right now, and I know I'm not alone. I feel like I have flatlined. It's so difficult to get moving. I mean, this sunshine out there is helping an awful lot today. Really is helping an awful lot. But we're talking about, how do we pull ourselves, let me zoom in a little bit more, how do we pull ourselves out of these doldrums, out of this flatline situation where we just feel like there's nowhere to go. So something comes along here, boom, to shake us out of our doldrums. And then we've got the 3 of Wands up there. And at the top, so if we look at lightning striking this situation of just flat. I don't want to say rock bottom because it's not like there's been a disaster. This is just, here's where we're our energy level for the day, And then up at the top, we've got the Three of Wands. So we have three people with flaming wands, and they are combining their flames, and they are at the top. Okay, so look at this up here. I can see that the three wands here are almost igniting this lightning bolt. So up at the top, if we combine our energies with some others, if we reach out, if we ask for help, if we say, my light's kind of dim, can you bring some of yours and we'll put them together, So I know if you have friends and everybody's light's kind of dim, let's combine our lights and we will have a brighter light, and it may be so bright that it flashes out to shoot us out of our doldrums. You guys, I don't know. I mean, I know this one came out first, but I don't know which came out second. I think she did. How did she do them? Kind of like this. Yeah, see, I'm not sure about that. If we do them in sequence, then we get kind of a different thing. But sort of the same. Combining light, lightning strike, shaking out of where we are, or it could be the lightning strike kind of is the thing that lays you flat. I like the first way better. Wow. All right, let's do this again. Actually, let's go to the book and see what we have here. Let's go to the Tower. Okay. This card, also sometimes known as Le Maison Dieu, or the House of God, takes its title from the traditional image of a tower that's struck by lightning. Now, this book is so fat that I really do need to I hate cracking the binding on books, but we really got to do it. Two figures can usually be seen falling from the upper windows, and often a crown can be seen being blasted from the top of the tower by the force of the divine bolt. It is the bolt of lightning itself that I chose to encapsulate the meaning of this card, since the aspects of life normally signified by the structure of the tower itself may be well represented by the other cards chosen to combine with this image. Of all the cards, it is the appearance of the tower that's most likely to perturb the experienced reader. Oh shit, here comes something out of the blue. The bolt of lightning of this card represents powerful cosmic forces of unveiling and truth, often accompanied by uncomfortable and sudden change. The power of this card is one of the simplest and clearest to interpret, since it essentially means that nothing will be the same again. I always, to put the most positive spin on the tower, talk about that things breaking down, that structures are breaking down. And a lot of times structure breaks down because we've outgrown the structure. It's too confining, and so we're growing beyond it, and so the structure must break because it can't contain us anymore. Also, sometimes structures break down because the structures themselves are faulty. Things aren't built well. They're not built on a solid foundation, and that can cause a structure to break down. This card always shows up for me when I'm reading about somebody's divorce. Always. So, okay. And then, think about that. The institution of marriage, the structure of a marriage, which is the contract, the agreements you have together, your home, how all of that stuff, breaking down. All right. The tower speaks of forces that tear down all that has been built up, leaving only the foundations behind. It is important, though, to remember that the structure may not have been so sound in the first place, and the opportunity to rebuild in the light of new experience is often a blessing in disguise. There are similarities here with the Hindu goddess Kali. Oh, yes. She also is feared for her destructive nature, but those who know her better know that she is the slayer of demons, and the heads she takes are the false masks we wear. Destruction and creation are part of the raw divine power of nature, and it is this force that is found in Kali in the tower. Also with Kali, she shows her eating entrails, and it's like, oh, how awful and gross is that? But this is the divine mother who, nothing is too gross. She accepts it all, and it nourishes her. Okay. It is no coincidence. How long does this go? Okay, so there's a big introduction and then a big section for divinatory meaning. It is no coincidence that the lightning shape is echoed in the practice of Kabbalah and one of the paths on the Tree of Life. I'm not going to read the rest. There's no doubt there's a destructive cleansing element to the tower, and when it appears in a reading, it normally indicates the breakdown of that which was once familiar. Yes. This may mean the abrupt end to a relationship or other situation that seemed stable, but usually when the situation is looked at truthfully and with hindsight, the storm clouds will have been seen on the horizon long before the lightning appeared. Although the change brought by the tower is often, but not always, painful and traumatic at the time, the lessons learned by the experience are invaluable, as is the opportunity to rebuild from the foundations up. So it can also talk about being in a calcified mindset, because this card is totally Aquarius to me. This calcified mindset where I've been told what to think and da-da-da, and all of a sudden you have an awakening and awareness that is like a bolt out of the blue, and oh my God, a revelation that wakes you up. That's also the tarot, or the tower. On a mundane level, this may be as simple as losing a long-held position at work, but with this card, there's always a deeper process underneath the surface. The job may well have been the wrong place for you to be, and the loss of it sets in motion the potential to achieve your true life path. In a reading on more spiritual or magical matters, I like that she goes on in levels. This card can have a very much more welcome and subtle effect. The tower shows us the way to strip the illusions inherent in physical life away to see the true workings of spirit underneath. When it appears reversed, the truth remains unacknowledged, and the process of change may become more drawn out and painful. Yet to me it says something really needs to change. You've outgrown it long ago, and it needs to break down. It needs to break down. You have to let things crack. Okay. An example of a 3-card combination featuring the tower is shown on page 93. Tower strikes at the contented 9 of Cups, whilst nearby the 4 of Pentacles clings tightly to his possessions. All right, well, we have our own, and I am going to look up the minors just to see how they do, but I don't really need to go farther with the book. And bravo to her for right in the beginning saying, set this book aside and have your own experience with this deck, because obviously, right off the bat, it's incredibly intuitive. And it's not even me going back to the traditional meanings of things. It's just going from the raw images. This is a very intuitively triggering deck. Triggering can be a good thing. Okay, 3 of Wands. The tension and potential of the 2 of Wands have resolved themselves successfully. So the 2 of Wands, are those two people facing each other, there is tension there. Beautiful. Beautifully done. Emily, I'm digging this. After having discovered the potential power of teamwork, the results begin to show. In the 3 of Wands, we can now see 3 figures, 2 of which seem to mirror each other, still reminiscent of a gateway, and a third between them, so that the 2 is kind of gateway. The gateway of initiation has been passed through, and the time of testing is over. In this card, the 3 wands come together at their tips, and the fire of creation is formed where they meet. Not only do the 3 wands touch, but the 3 figures themselves seem joined together, indicating that the individuals have formed a strong unit. 3 is a powerful and balanced number, and a creative team forged on this energy has the ability to thrive. The flame seen here is the first spark of success. And it's great, moving towards that 6, which is the victory card. Any conflicts have been settled, and not only peacefully, but productively. And individual drives and talents have come together to form something greater than the sum of their parts. There's a sense of great hope in this image, as if there are greater things yet to come. And I got that just by looking at the image. I can't imagine what it was like to create this deck, because I've done a thing. I have a table that I did this big thing where I took all of the elements and then put them through the elements. So, the fire of earth, the fire of water, the water of fire, and trying to come up with the, just a keyword and combinations of things like air and water combination. You get bubbles, you get champagne, right? Water and earth, you get mud. Water or earth and fire, you get clay, you get ceramic. So I've done these kind of things where you're combining, and it ain't easy. And visually, to do this visually, my God, she had to be in such a wonderful mind state. Okay, Four of Swords. The journey of the sword suit so far has not been an easy one, and here we can take a well-earned rest. Stability in the mental realm of the swords manifests itself as a time of repose after the struggles and sorrow of the preceding cards. So stability, looking at fours, and let me take a look here too. Yes, so before each one of the minor sections, before each number, she tells you, after the dynamic tension and productivity of the previous small cards, the fours have finally hit a stable plateau. The energy of the fours is far more static, and is some cases more introspective than the preceding cards. Like a new mother who's finally getting some much needed rest. Unlike the productive stability of the threes, the nature of the fours is far more resistant and rather reluctant to change. And look, she shows you all four of them together. Fun! Again, the qualities of the different suits react differently to this newfound stability. And it is from these differences we may find the messages of the fours. So we can go, like I was saying, gathering together can like trigger this lightning strike to shake you out of your thing. Or we could say that finally taking a rest allows us to feel inspired again, and that can really wake things up. All right, where was I? In the Four of Swords, we see a figure lying almost tomb-like upon one sword, whilst three further swords point outward, protecting the resting figure from any interference. Clear. The outside world is kept at bay for the time being, and the mind is able to find peace and quiet. I mean, it is so well, simply, exquisitely illustrated to get the essence of what the meaning is here. Unlike the daydream escapism of the Four of Cups, this escape is much needed in order to recover and reflect on what is past, and in order to allow any wounds to heal. It is also interesting to note that the three swords pointing outward seem to form the druidic symbol of Awen, which represents the breath of inspiration. The stillness of thought found in the Four of Swords allows fresh and more positive ideas room to breathe, and may even result in the light of true divine inspiration, which there's the lightning bolt. Dang, lady, she has really done some work here. So resting, recovering, healing, that we are, after this coming into its third year of pandemic, we are in need of healing across the board. We're in need of it on a physical level. We are in need of it on a mental level, a spiritual level, an emotional level. On every level, we are in need of healing. So I want three more. I want another set. Don't know about you guys, but I want another set. And now I have to remember which way they go. You can quickly figure it out from the minors have the symbols down the right-hand side, so that's a quick way to... Ooh, all right, there's a smaller set that wants us to pick from them. Ooh, okay, they're really flippy floppy when you have a small set of them like this, but they're easy to shuffle. They don't stick to each other, they don't grate against each other. We're just gonna go like this. I am more excited about this deck than I thought I was gonna be. Holy shit, yo. So we have all right. At the foundation, we have the Emperor. Structure. The structure of our culture, the structure of our society, the structure of our agreements, of our governments, the social contract. And look at this. Look at the Nine of Swords here. It is in crisis. Our structures and the patriarchy, I mean, the Emperor card is the patriarchy too. It's like really acknowledging all of the ways these things have wounded us. The emphasis on the material, the building up, the top-down structure of things, the going higher instead of deeper, instead of, these towers that we build. Wealth and fame and all the other things that the Emperor can represent. And then we have this Nine of Swords where it's like, where is all this stuff getting us? It's time to acknowledge the trauma and the pain that have come from these very systems. Because when we acknowledge how they have harmed us, then we know how we have to change them. And look what comes on top of that, the Death card. Whoosh! Sweep it away, cut it away, but as we cut, we are harvesting. So we're harvesting the lessons. And we're harvesting the seed. We're separating the wheat from the chaff and taking what nourishes us and using it for food, and also saving some to plant what we're going to grow next. We're growing the next phase of things from the things that actually nourished us about the last one. You guys, I love this deck. This is the most excited I've been about a deck in a while. And I know, it's kind of de rigueur on YouTube for every reader that's doing a deck review to say, I'm really excited about this deck. But wow, I really am excited about... Oh, stop. Sorry, we're going for a ride here, y'all. Hold on. I am enthused. I'm excited. I'm inspired. This, I'm going to do a lot of playing with this because the way these images layer on each other is just fascinating. Something else. I did get this on Amazon. So it is available. Obviously, this printing, I want to see where the first edition was. This is 2020. When was the first edition? They're not saying. Forward. Okay, I want to see if I can find where she talked about preface. Oh, okay, here we go. It's in the preface to the second edition. A quick note on caring for the cards. Some people have reported the old edition being coated in a thin, oily film upon purchase. This may be an unavoidable part of the production process, but is easily remedied with a soft cloth and mild detergent. Giving each card a wipe before use gives you time to bond with each card, and not only makes your deck easier to use, but also helps you form a personal connection with the deck. I would also highly encourage, because I was noticing fingerprints, to definitely wash your hands before you use this deck. I mean, I do this to my hair, so I'm going to pick up oils. But yeah, just to be aware that you can get fingerprints on them. But it's also good to know that you can just wipe them off, All right, the second edition, been over 10 years since it was first published. Packaging and presentation have been improved. Of course, it's impossible to please everyone, but I do hope it pleases you. All right. The chief edition in this accompanying volume is an extra section on using the cards in combination with other decks. Let's take a look at that. I mean, this is an hour. Sorry. I mean, if you're gone, you're gone. But if you've hung around with me, then you guys are my heroes. Oh, then we have, all right, looking at what else we have here, keyword tables. So you can just go through and get a quick reference. That's always nice to have. Then we have using it with another deck. You see she's put cards on top of, it would be kind of hard to see her images on top of other decks, especially if they're dark like that. But certainly fun to do. She's got triple layer Celtic cross spread. Oh man, I bet you this deck's gonna show up frequently in live streams. All right, I'm going to let you guys go now. Thank you so much. If you've stuck around this long, you are something else. There are links below if you'd like me to read for you on an unboxing video. Buy me a deck and I will read for you. Send a question. Tell me who you are and send me a question with it if you can. Some people have not been able to do it through Amazon, but then they've sent me a question on my Facebook. But at any rate, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I wish you the happiest 2022. Let's make it a good one, you guys. I'll see you next time. This is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.